Welcome back to ArchViz Ascent. I'm Farzane. Floors are the foundation of any room, but truly mastering them in Revit means going beyond a simple slab. How do you create detailed floor layers, tag materials, and manage their structural properties like a pro? In this tutorial, we'll dive deep into creating custom floor layers, applying materials, and even setting their structural usage. Let's build a solid foundation. Here you see 3 floor presentation models, and we are going to practice this type of presentation in this session. I will teach you how to tag each material. Look at this building. Using the section box, I can show you the layers that make up the roofs and floors. Well, let's see how these layers can be created. I opened one of the plans. I explained how to customize and change the names of the levels in a video before. I will put the link for you in the description. I also open the 3D view. I select everything and then hide it from this section. I hit the tile view to see the plan and 3D together. I select the floor from the architecture tab. And with this tool, I draw a closed shape. I set the display mode for the 3D environment to realistic to show the materials. I select the floor. From here, I can choose different types of floors. I choose generic 30 centimeters. I intend to make the floor in contact with the ground. Like the picture. I click on Insert and add a few new layers. This layer is not part of the core boundary in the main structural layer of the floor, so I bring it down and select the substrate for it. The order of the layers is very important. In this section, I can assign a material to it. I previously made a soil material. Look at the identity section and the description section. I have written whatever I want to be shown in the tagging. I also choose a color for shading. For the cut pattern, I have already chosen a hatch. I explained this section in the layered wall construction video. I have also explained the material construction in a separate video, the link of which I will put for you in the description. I determine a thickness here, for example 20 centimeters. I also consider this layer as a substrate and remove it from the core boundary. I consider mixed sand as a material. I have already made the material so that our focus here is on making the floor. I also consider shading and cut pattern for it. I consider 3 centimeters for the thickness of the layer. The next layer should be pieces of large stone. I make these layers based on the building regulations of my place of residence. You also make the order of layers and their thickness and material according to the building regulations of your region. I choose this hatch. You can see different types of hatches here. The next layer is a small piece of stone with a thickness of 4 centimeters. The next layer is cement and mortar. I create a few more layers from the insert section. Well, the next layer is concrete. Ten centimeters. A soft cement layer as insulation. Centimeters. From here, we can see the layers we have made. Well, I add a moisture insulation layer with a thickness of 3 millimeters. It's here. Now I create another protective insulation layer with a thickness of 2 centimeters. The next layer is sand cement mortar with a thickness of 3 centimeters. I consider the last layer's finish. I also put the core boundary function on the structure. For the finish, I consider ceramic 60 centimeters by 60 centimeters. And I definitely check that it is written in the identity tab in the description section. I consider 1 centimeter thickness for it. This is the layered floor that I just made. To be able to see the layers, I can activate the section box tick in the 3D view. If I select something on the page, I don't see the section box in the project browser. I click on an empty space on the page and hit the section box tick. It shows the layers we made. When I remove the tick, the section box disappears. Well, now let's do this presentation model and tagging together. You also do this work with me so that you remember, and if you have any questions, be sure to ask in the comments. Let's go together to tag the materials. The floor is a bit large. I double-click and make its dimensions smaller. I take a copy of it. To see the layers, I select the floor and click on Create Part. Here I hide the previous floors. From the Annotate tab, I click on Material Tag. It gives a message that you must first lock the 3D view. I click on Save Orientation. I write a name for it. I select the material tag. I click on each material and it shows the descriptions that we wrote in the description. I do this for all layers. To remember, I enter Edit Type. Look, when I enter the material settings, I've entered the description or name of that material in the Identity tab. It also shows this in tagging. For this floor, I also click on Create Part. I hide the floors that we recently created in this view. Let's go together and make one of these. I select a layer and then take the Show Shape handles. Now I can move the layer in any direction I want. I move the layers one by one upwards. Finally, from the Annotate tab, I select the Material tag and tag all the layers. To sort the tags, I can select it and move it from here. I want to make this one like this. If we accidentally close the view once, we can open the ground floor from the 3D view section of the project browser window. If the project browser itself is also closed, from the View User Interface tab, we can tick it and it will appear for us on the scene. I select the floor and click on Create Part. I select the first layer and click on Explode. Now I can move the layer in any direction I want. I can connect the original location of each point to its current location with a back. By moving the layer, the dashed lines also move. For the next layer, I do the same, select it and explode. And then I move it. For now, I prefer to delete these dashed lines because the model is not very complicated. If I click on reset, the layer will return to its original place. Well, I move the layers one by one upwards. Finally, from the Annotate tab, I select the material tag and tag all the layers. Congratulations! You've now mastered creating detailed floor layers, applying materials, and tagging them correctly in Revit. Understanding these structural details is crucial for accurate modeling and professional documentation. This is a vital step in our Revit Zero to Hero journey. In the next tutorial, we'll put all the skills we've learned so far into practice by building a simple one-story house project. We'll connect our walls and floors and create a comprehensive model, and then take it into Unreal Engine to see the final render. If this tutorial was helpful, please give this video a like and subscribe to the ArchViz Ascent channel. Your support helps me create more valuable content for you. Feel free to ask any questions in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.